We are glad to welcome you to our channel. Kindly subscribe to our channel and share our videos with your friends and relations. And click on the bell icon for instant notification whenever new videos are uploaded on this channel. Rest assured that we are going to have a very exciting and inspiring discussion. Let's dive into the lesson right away. In today's video, our focus will be on the West African Senior School Certificate Examination 2020 English past questions on essay writing. We are going to look at all the essay writing questions in the exam for this given year, and then I'll give you top tips on how to write your chosen essay and score very high in it. Of course, you know that essay writing is the one section in the English language exam that carries the highest marks. So it's important that you know how to get it right in the essay writing section. I am Benjamin from English Classes Online. Come with me as we dive into the lesson right away. English Language 2, that's the section Theory Questions. Section A, Essay Writing, 50 marks. So here, essay writing carries 50 marks. And for you to do well in an exam, of course, if you can score maximum marks in this section, then you will do excellently in that exam. Answer one question only from this section. All questions carry equal marks. Your answer should not be less than 450 words. You are advised to spend about 50 minutes on this section. Now, what this means is that out of 5 questions, you are to answer one question only from the session. So you are at liberty to choose just one, all right? And then all the questions carry equal marks, and then your answer should not be less than 450 words. You are advised to spend about 50 minutes on this section. This means that time management is an important part of this exam. Let's begin with the questions. Question 1. Your brother, who is in the 3rd year in another school, has written to confide in you that he is about to stop schooling and go into business. Write to him advising him against his decision. This is question number 1 in 2020 WASSCE English exam, essay writing section. Then question 2, write an article suitable for publication in a national newspaper on the topic, the importance of promoting good reading habits in students. All right. Now, in question 1, we saw a question on letter writing, and it is about informal letter. Then in question 2, we saw a question on article writing. I'm going to illustrate with questions 1 and 2. Question 3, as the senior prefect of your school, write a letter to the principal pointing out at least 2 practices among students that should be discouraged and 2 habits that should be promoted among teachers. This is a question on letter writing as well, but in this case, it is a question on formal letter writing. Of course, if you browse through this channel, you will see a number of video lessons on how to write a formal letter. Question 4. A new principal has been posted to your school. Write a speech you will deliver at the welcome party organized for him, informing him about some problems faced by students. This is a question on speech writing, and of course I have done a video that gives you a detailed explanation of how to answer speech writing question, and I illustrated actually in that video lesson with this particular question. So you can browse through my channel, and you can use um, essay writing or writing skills as the title of the playlist that will help you to be able to see my video on this particular question. Okay, and this brings us to question number 5. Write a story that ends with the statement, "I had never felt so embarrassed in my life." So you can see we have 5 essay writing questions, and you have to choose only one. This particular question 5 is on story writing. So we saw questions on informal letter writing, on article writing, on formal letter writing, on speech writing, and now on story writing. And you can choose any of them. All you need to do is to go through the various questions and then pick the one that you can discuss easily, and convincingly. All right, you don't have to choose anyone out of sentiment. You have to look at each of them and then select the one that you know very well and you can discuss convincingly. Okay, now let me show you uh, the marking scheme, because essay writing is the highest scoring section in the West African Senior School Certificate English exam, and these are the parameters for assessing your essay. The first is content, and it carries 10 marks. Content has to do with how you have written exactly what the question requires you to write. All right, so that is the content, how you have discussed the subject matter as much as possible. Organization carries 10 marks, and this has to do with how well you have organized your work. If you are writing a letter, for instance, the examiner wants to see the required address or addresses, as the case may be. For example, if you are writing an informal letter, you have only one address, which is the writer's address. If you are writing a formal letter, then there should be 2 addresses, the writer's address and the receiver's address. And then these have to be arranged in their normal positions. Now, in the samples that I will give you, I will show you what it means to organize your work. If you are writing an article, the examiner wants to see that you have started with the headline and it is positioned exactly in the top center, on the top center of your answer sheet, and is presented in the way it should be. And then your paragraph should be well organized, and so on and so forth. Now, the next thing to be looked into is expression, which carries 20 marks. Expression has to do with your use of language, how you express your ideas with clarity, how you have used standard language, and how you have used the appropriate language for the particular type of subject matter, and how you have respected your use of language in terms of formality and informality, and so on and so forth. So expression also has to do with how you have used aspects of English grammar correctly. So that is about expression, and it carries 20 marks while others carry 10 marks each. So if you need to pay attention to expression. Then the next one is mechanical accuracy, and it carries 10 marks as well. Now we have a total of 50 marks. So you can see that this is exactly how your essay is assessed, how it is judged, how it is evaluated by those who mark the scripts. Now let's move on to look at the steps you need to take in writing an essay. Whether you are writing a letter or an article or a speech or a story or a report, whatever it is, you need to take some important steps in order to write a good essay. Step one, create an outline for your essay. An outline is a list of the key points you need for your writing. It's just like building a house. You need to write a building plan. Your outline is your writing plan. Then how do you create an outline? First, jot down the points for your writing. That's the first thing you do. And then you organize these points into an outline. That's step number one. Step number two, give your essay a catchy headline or begin with an address for a letter. It depends on the type of essay. Under essay writing, you have letter writing, you have article writing, you have story writing, you have speech writing. If you are writing an article, for example, you begin with a catchy headline, okay? And then if you are writing a letter, you begin with an address. So that is step number two. And step number three, the introduction, okay? The introduction. You need to be conversant with the features of whatever piece of writing you are going to do, but there are three main parts of every essay: the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. Okay? And then the other variables are addresses for letter, and then headline for the article. And of course, if you are writing a formal letter, in addition to the addresses, you also have to give it a title. Then after that, the introduction, which is the first paragraph, and this is where you introduce the issue you'll be discussing in your article. For example, if it is a letter, then that is also where you discuss the purpose of your letter and the subject matter you are going to discuss. There are four essential ingredients to include in your introductory paragraph: I, subject matter; II, thesis; III, enumeration; IV, intro. I have a video lesson on, essay writing, the key steps in essay writing, and of course, these things are discussed in greater detail. If you search through my channel, you will find the 5 key steps in essay writing. Then step number 4, the body of the article. Okay, the body of the article, and this should be made up of different paragraphs. Discuss the problem or issue introduced in the introductory paragraph. All right. For example, if you are writing an article, you are likely to write the causes, effects, and solutions to the problem, because in most articles you are given a social problem to talk about or to discuss. Now, discuss only one main point in each paragraph. For example, discuss point 1 in paragraph 2, because of course paragraph 1 is for introduction. Discuss point 2 in paragraph 3, point 3 in paragraph 4, and so on and so forth. Now, step number 5 is the conclusion, and this is where you summarize the main points discussed and call for action from those concerned. Okay, so these are the steps you need to take in essay writing. Now, let's move on to take samples. I want to show you with 2 of the questions, question number 1 and question number 2. And here is the question. Your brother, who is in the 3rd year in another school, has written to confide in you that he is about to stop schooling and go into business. Write to him advising him against his decision. See, so this is the letter, and as we saw in the steps you need to take, the first thing is for you to think about this. What am I going to write? Then you jot down the points, create an outline, and then you begin to write with the address. The address needed here is just your own address as the writer, because this is an informal letter you are writing to your brother. An informal letter is a letter you write to someone with whom you share a personal relationship, and obviously you share a personal relationship with your brother. So here is the sample. We begin with the address: 22 Goriola Street. Take note of the punctuation marks. Ojo, Lagos State. You see, take note of the punctuation marks. Then the date follows: 20 February 2023. That is the address and that is the date. Then the salutation: dear brother. You take note that the salutation begins at the left hand margin, and then there is a comma after dear brother. You have an option to write dear brother, or you can call your brother by name if that is what you choose to do. Now, having done that, that is the salutation. Then this is the first paragraph. You have two options for beginning an informal letter. You may start in this way by, making inquiries or exchanging pleasantries, you know, but you may decide to go straight into discussing the subject matter and then reserve your greetings for the last paragraph. But here we choose to begin with the greetings to, underscore the fact that this is an informal letter. So here is what it looks like. How are you? It's been ages since I wrote to you. I've been so busy with schoolwork and domestic chores these days. Thank you for filling that communication gap with your letter. That was very thoughtful of you. However, I was worried when I read about your decision to stop schooling and go into business. Your desire to go into business is commendable, but I think the timing is completely wrong. I would like to discuss some reasons why I strongly believe it's better for you to complete your secondary education before going into business. Now, take note of the fact that we are using a conversational tone here. When you write a letter to someone, it is important for you to adopt the tone, that you should normally use when talking to the person. If you are discussing with your brother, then it is an informal tone, and we have used this conversational tone here. Now, paragraph 2, to start with, you are already in your third year, and this means that you have less than 2 years to complete your secondary education and obtain the senior school certificate, your senior school certificate. All right. The point I am trying to make here is that if you stop schooling at this point, you will forfeit the senior school certificate. Consequently, the 3 years you've already spent at secondary school will be a complete waste of time and resources. You see, you've discussed one point. You are telling him, look, it is wrong for you to stop schooling at this point because you have just a little time, a little more patience, and then you will complete your secondary education. And nothing stops you from going into business if that's what you have chosen to do. Then the next paragraph: moreover, it's obvious that daddy and mommy won't be happy to hear that all the resources they've invested in your education will go down the drains just like that. You and I know full well the kind of heart attack your decision is going to cause both, uh, of course, the continuation. Let's look at the continuation. Okay. Well, it appears that there's an omission there. Well, what we have here is you and I know full well the kind of heart attack your decision is going to cause both of them. All right. So the point you are making here is that, you know, your brother's decision to stop schooling is going to give your parents a heart attack. So, and of course, no well-meaning child will want the parents to have a heart attack. Okay, so there's an omission here. All right, so you and I know full well the kind of heart attack your decision is going to cause both of them. So you have made another important point here. Okay, so let's now proceed. The next paragraph. Finally, you will realize that you need the senior school certificate if you decide to go into politics in future. You must have read in the news how some of the politicians are being disqualified from running for certain political positions in our country because they lack the required academic qualification to vie for such offices. It is possible that after becoming successful in business, you may decide to vie for the office of president, governor, or senator. At that juncture, you will realize how wrong your decision to stop schooling halfway is. This is because the minimum academic qualification for being elected into such offices in our country is the senior school certificate. You see, you have made another very important point. The next paragraph. There are many other reasons why I believe you must reconsider your decision to stop schooling at this point. However, I believe the above three reasons are sufficient to convince you that you shouldn't take a step further in that direction. I know that you've always reposed much confidence in me, and you know full well that I love you and will never advise you wrongly. Please reconsider your decision in your best interest. You see, this is a very beautiful way to wrap up your discussion. You have brought it to a conclusion in a very, very convincing manner. And then the last paragraph, I hope to hear from you about rescinding your decision in view of the above reasons. You are making a call for action here. Make sure you send me your positive reply as soon as possible. Yours sincerely, Samuel. Okay, so this is exactly how to write such a letter. So you can pause this video at any point and then go through it over and over, and you will learn from this sample how you can write an informal letter. Then the next sample we are going to look at is answer to question number 2. Write an article suitable for publication in a national newspaper on the topic, the importance of promoting good reading habits in students. So this is a question on article writing, and this is how you can do it. You begin with the headline, the importance of promoting good reading habits in students, you see. And one method for presenting your headline is what I call the total capitalization method. You write everything in capital letters. Okay, so that is a good one. If you decide to use the second method, you write in a mixture of capital and small letters, observing the rules, and then you underline. I advise you to use this. It's straightforward, it's simple, and you are likely to avoid making mistakes when you use this method. Now, there are different ways to begin your article. The introductory paragraph should begin with a hook. A hook is an attention grabbing sentence, and there are different ways to do it. You can use the quotation method, the rhetorical question method. or the direct method, or even the provocation method. But here I choose to begin with the quotation method. And here is how what it looks like. There is more treasure in books than in all the pirates' loot on Treasure Island. So said Walt Disney, a notable scholar. Similarly, Napoleon Bonaparte, a great French scholar, a great French leader, said, "Show me a family of readers, and I will show you the people who move the world." So we have given two quotations here to drive home the point we are making, that this article is very important. You must read it because it's addressing a very important issue, which is why these important personalities have said something about it. Now we continue. Promoting good reading habits in students is no doubt an effective way of encouraging students to become good and motivated learners. A reading culture in schools creates an environment where reading is highly valued, encouraged, and viewed as an enjoyable activity. Although the benefits of a healthy reading culture are numerous, I will discuss a few of the most important ones. You see, so we have included the essential ingredients in this introductory paragraph. We started with a hook, that those are the quotation marks, and then we gave our um, we gave our subject matter. Promoting good reading habits in students is no doubt an effective way of encouraging students to become good and motivated learners. You see, so then we have also included our thesis here. Okay, these are essential ingredients, and there is a video I have uploaded on how to write an effective thesis statement. Now, once you are through with your introductory paragraph, then the next thing will be the body of the article, and this is where you begin to discuss the key points you are going to discuss in the article one by one. And the important thing you should note is that you should always discuss one key point in each paragraph. So in paragraph 2, we are going to begin with the first point. Don't forget, we have laid the foundation here, where in the introductory paragraph, in our last sentence, we say, although the benefits of a healthy reading culture are numerous, I will discuss a few of the most important ones. Now, sometime you might want to enumerate the key points here. You may say, I will discuss a few of the most important ones, namely, then you name the key points, okay, if you like. So that's what we call enumeration. But even if you don't name them, as we decide not to do here, you already have these key points in your outline. So you are going to take these key points one by one. Now let's look at these points, beginning with the first one in this paragraph. First of all, building a strong reading culture exposes students to various sources of knowledge. You see, that's one thing, that's the first benefits, because here you are asked to talk about the importance. And in other words, you are going to discuss the benefits. The first benefit here you are talking about is that, promoting good reading habits in students helps to expose them to various sources of knowledge. That's point number one. And it's important that you start with this point in what we call a topic sentence. This first sentence is the topic sentence. It shows the reader the key points you are going to discuss in this paragraph. So you are beginning with it, and then it's good to start with, uh, a connective here, a connective. This is a phrase that actually connects our idea, having we stopped at saying that we are going to discuss a few of the most important points. And then first of all means we want to begin with the first key point here. So it makes your article interconnected. You know, they are logically connected, and your ideas flow, you know, they are connected. So you are transitioning, and that is why phrases like this are called transition phrases. Okay, transition words or transition phrases. Okay. First of all, building a strong reading culture exposes students to various sources of knowledge. Of course, reading is the key that opens the door and gives one access to new ideas and new pieces of information. The more you read, the better you can build up and expand your knowledge. For example, a student who reads various books on a given topic is likely to become more knowledgeable about that topic than someone who doesn't. You see, you have discussed that key point, which is the fact that, you know, promoting good reading habits in students exposes them to various sources of knowledge and thereby makes them more knowledgeable about their chosen topics. Now, this is the third paragraph, and of course, is the second paragraph in the body of the article. Another benefit of a creative and exciting reading culture is that it broadens students' imagination and increases their creativity. Now, this is a very good way of transitioning from the old paragraph to the new paragraph, so that there is the idea you are discussing in the new paragraph is connected with what you discussed earlier. And that's why you use this this phrase, another benefit, you see, which shows that the one you just discussed was the one of the benefits, and this is another one. Reading enables you to think and use your imagination. It helps you to cultivate new ideas and also figure out ways to implement them in real life. In fact, the more you read, the more creative you could be. Then the next paragraph. Now, take note of the fact that your paragraphs are organized in this way. You see where the previous paragraph begins and where this next paragraph is beginning, they are well organized. Furthermore, a good reading culture helps students to become more successful in life by cultivating positive thinking and self-discipline. By reading good books consistently, you can develop the habit of thinking positively. This is because reading stimulates your brain and enables you to think in new ways. Reading helps you to learn new skills, new values, and new ways of doing things. When you cultivate a good reading habit, it helps you to avoid distractions and concentrate on positive activities that will add value to your life. The self-discipline you develop will help you to achieve your goals and become more successful both in your academic career and even after school. See, this is a way of discussion that makes your message, you know, very powerful. You communicate your ideas very effectively. Okay, and then having discussed the points, then the last paragraph. In conclusion, building an effective reading culture in schools is important for building a strong and viable nation, in view of the fact that good readers today are likely to be good leaders tomorrow. You see, you have discussed this in a very powerful way. You have brought the article to a very good conclusion, because you are leaving your reader with a very lasting impression. Again, you have ended on a quotation note here. You know, good readers today are likely to be good leaders today. I mean, tomorrow. That is food for thought, and that's a powerful way to end it. Then the next thing is for you to write your name and your location, okay? Because you are writing this article for publication in a national newspaper, and so it's important you write your name as the writer of the article, and then you include your location. You may want to write your full address, okay? So, but that is exactly the way it is. And this brings us to the end of today's lesson. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, kindly leave them in the comment section below. Many thanks for watching today's video. A big thank you to all of you out there for being part of today's episode. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, kindly subscribe to this channel. Subscribe now as a way of giving us support. For notification about new videos, click on the bell icon. You will find the bell icon. Click on it so that whenever a new video is uploaded, you will be instantly notified. If you have actually enjoyed the video, like and share the video with your friends and relatives. This is very important. If you have any comments, leave your comments below. Any questions, any suggestions, we would gladly receive them and respond promptly and positively to them. See you in the next video. I look forward to always seeing you in the new video. Thank you.